Good morning, everybody. Last week in our Meals with Jesus, we looked at a meal with Zacchaeus, where Jesus had lunch with someone or dinner with someone that he had never met before. Today, in our next meal with Jesus, we're going to look at when Jesus had a meal with 12 of his friends, 12 of his friends who had been known for about 3 years. The year, the Jewish people would have sat down and had ate Passover. And in the same way, Jesus and his disciples did the same thing. They would have drunk wine and eaten unleavened, unyeasted or flat bread. He said his disciples started the meal. Jesus said, I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover meal with you. So he was really looking forward to that meal. Jesus poured out the wine and gave it in a cup and gave it to each of his disciples and divided it amongst them. Then Jesus broke bread and he said, take, eat, this is my body. And then he encouraged his disciples, or he commanded his disciples, to do this in remembrance of him. At the time of Passover, Jesus sat down with his 12, not 4, disciples. He took the wine, poured it into a cup, and divided it out amongst his disciples. He then took his unleavened, unyeasted or flat bread and broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, this is my body, broken for you. He then instructed his disciples to do this in remembrance of him. Great to read about meals with Jesus. I like the way that Jesus told his disciples that he was eagerly desiring to eat this Passover meal with them, even though he knew he was very shortly going to go to his very painful death. The last thing that Jesus said was, do this in remembrance of me. Jesus could have said, build a large pyramid in remembrance of me, build a statue in remembrance of me, but no, he didn't. Jesus said, have this meal, have this bread, have this wine, and do this in remembrance of me. When Jesus took the bread and the wine, the first thing he did was not to give it out, or he was drink it himself or eat it himself. He gave thanks. Jesus did exactly the same thing when he was feeding the 5,000, as we may have heard about before. I think it's always important to give thanks, to be thankful for the things that we have.